Today's news highlights. Date May 16, 2025. News highlights: it is rumored that the Taiwan headquarters of NVIDIA will settle on the T17 and T18 land-only sites in Taipei, which are owned by Shin Kong Life. Zhao has announced the disposal of assets and authorized the chairman to sign a memorandum, which is speculated by the market to be a contract transfer with NVIDIA. If the city government agrees to terminate the contract early, NVIDIA can build its headquarters according to demand, which is beneficial to NVIDIA, Zhao, and the North City government. Huang is expected to make an announcement at a press conference on May 21. News highlights: TSMC held the 2025 Technology Forum Taiwan on the 15th, emphasizing physical AI as the next wave of trends, focusing on the two major applications of humanoid robots and self-driving cars. It is estimated that 1.3 billion AI robots will be put into use worldwide in 2030 and 4 billion in 2050. Executives pointed out that AI will drive the demand for advanced processes and packaging, and predicted that the semiconductor industry will grow by double digits in 2025 and challenge $1 trillion in output value in 2030. The impact of AI applications from the early stages will be far-reaching, and the development of physical AI will greatly increase the reliance on semiconductors. News highlights: Tesla's humanoid robot Optimus dance steps video sparked the conversation on social media platform X, attracting more than 45 million views in 24 hours, demonstrating the difficult dynamic balance and body coordination. Musk emphasized that Optimus is active in the lab every day and has a self-charging function. Behind the evolution of Optimus, Taiwan Factory, Day, and Mendeley are the key suppliers, responsible for joint and bone components, which will benefit from the mass production of robots. The legal person is optimistic about the expansion of business opportunities for humanoid robots, and Taiwan's supply chain has become a global focus. News highlights: the first quarter financial reports of listed companies were released, benefiting from the wave of AI sales and the steady profits of financial stocks, and the net profit after tax in a single quarter reached 1.05 trillion yuan, an annual increase of 20.5%, the second highest in the same period of the previous year, and exceeded 1 trillion yuan for 4 consecutive quarters. TSMC, Honhai, Fubon Gold, etc. are among the top 10 profits, and the AI and biotechnology groups perform well. Corporate earnings are expected to be flat or slightly declining in the second quarter due to the appreciation of the new Taiwan dollar and the uncertainty of tariffs. News highlights: Warren Buffett announced that he would step down as CEO of Berkshire in December this year and be replaced by Vice Chairman Abel, but he will still serve as chairman and will not retire. The 94-year-old Buffett admits that he has only really aged in recent years, saying that Abel is energetic and executive, and is the ideal successor. After the news was announced, Berkshire's stock price fell, causing the market to pay attention to the direction of investment after the succession. Warren Buffett stressed that he will continue to work, and said that his ability to remain calm in the face of market panic is the most valuable ability in investment. News highlights: former U.S. President Donald Trump's plan to accept a $400 million Boeing 747-8 from the Qatari royal family has sparked constitutional and moral controversy. The Democrats have denounced the move as a bribe, and the Republican Party has questioned its safety and constitutionality. Although Qatar claims defense cooperation, the outside world is worried about the intention behind the gift to hide interests. Trump publicly expressed his support for the acceptance, emphasizing that it was to save government spending, but this move threatens to blur the line between public and private, attack the credibility and institutional principles of the presidency, and trigger a Democratic Party investigation and widespread attention. News highlights: AI literacy is not the same as technical expertise, but rather the ability of workers in the workplace to effectively interact with AI, understand its limitations, ask good questions, and verify the correctness of responses, and then apply AI to practice. The author proposes 4 major abilities of AI literacy: tool application ability, judgment and critical thinking ability, application practice ability, and cross-domain collaboration ability, and encourages non-technical personnel to self-evaluate the current situation from the 3 questions. AI doesn't replace everyone, it replaces people who don't know how to work with AI. It is a key reminder of workplace transformation. News highlights: the Chinese Kunpeng Association, which has a background in the New Party, revealed that it has been cooperating with the CCP's United Front against Taiwan for a long time, and has led Taiwan college students to China to participate in political exchange camps. Shen Yuzhong, vice chairman of the Mainland Affairs Council, said that the CCP's methods of infiltrating campuses are diverse and serious, and it will step up efforts to remind students. The original briefing session scheduled for the 17th and 18th was cancelled by Taichung University of Science and Technology, Yangming Jiaotong University and National Taiwan University. The Ministry of Education and relevant units are actively handling the matter in accordance with the cross-strait regulations, and call for diversified international exchanges to avoid the campus becoming a bridgehead for the United Front. The Ministry of the Interior also issued a warning to the Kunpeng Association for its illegal operation and demanded that it be improved within a time limit. News highlights: Shen Zhifeng, director of the Ministry of the Interior, said that 120 people have been found to evade military service by illegal means, some involving artists and celebrities, and the case is under investigation, calling on the public not to leave anything to chance, and the offenders will be prosecuted in accordance with the law, and the statute of limitations for prosecution can reach 20 years. The Ministry of National Defense will comprehensively revise the criteria for distinguishing positions for military service, strengthen medical examination and re-examination procedures, and prevent desertion. Lin Zhenlu, director of the Department of Cooperation and People's Organizations, pointed out that the China Kunpeng Association has not operated in accordance with the law, and has issued a warning on the 13th of this month, with a deadline for improvement by the 6th of next month, otherwise it will be dissolved. News highlights the R1, an open-source model launched by DeepSeek, a startup based in Hangzhou, China, was enthusiastically sought after earlier this year, but its usage rate has dropped from 7% in February to 3% at the end of April. Many governments and companies have banned the model due to its security vulnerabilities and high hallucination rate. Baidu's chairman, Robin Li, criticized DeepSeek for being able to process only a single text, which is expensive and slow. Lookin Technology, a major API service provider, has stopped related services due to high costs. The U.S. House of Representatives report accusing DeepSeek of assisting the Chinese government in monitoring and stealing data, and the international community continues to escalate the ban for national security reasons. News highlights from 2024 to 2026, more than 20 new department stores will be added in Taiwan, including Taipei Sky Tower, Nangang Lalaport, Taichung High-Speed Rail Entertainment and Shopping City, etc. Although the revenue growth of the department store industry has slowed down, scholars have pointed out that the new department stores adopt more outlet forms, combined with large-scale and precise investment promotion, which still has a significant effect on regional life functions and the real estate market. News highlights a top-performing female saleswoman of Taishan Securities recently committed suicide in the company's warehouse, causing shock and regret among colleagues. She had planned to take part in a company trip to Japan that was about to depart, but suddenly walked to the warehouse to end her life. The FSC initially understands that it is a personal factor, which has nothing to do with the recent new ETF fundraising and IPO liability, and will continue to investigate whether there is any negligence in the internal management of the brokerage. The stock exchange believes that the incident is not a major accident, but will continue to monitor the development of the case. News highlights the K-pop platter concert KT-pop will be held at the Kaohsiung National Stadium on May 31st, featuring 7 groups of artists, including IVE, Shonu X Hyungwon, Zero Baseon, and Mark, hosted by Ji Chong-wook. The organizers will offer more than 160 exclusive opportunities for fans to interact with each other in total, including ticket raffles, rehearsals, group photos and autographs. The group will be singing at least 6 songs, with Mark expected to bring 9 tracks. For the convenience of the audience, the organizer will provide shuttle buses and give away limited canvas bags and posters for the full lineup. News highlights to SS ex-husband Wang Xiaofei will have a makeup wedding with his wife Mandy on May 17th, and SS mother Huang Chunmi posted a message in the early morning of today, 16th, to confide in her heart, hoping that her ex-son-in-law can love the child that Ziwan gave birth to with her life. She lamented that she could not see her grandchildren and broke down and questioned, "What is the law in what world? And blame yourself for not being able to get out of the low tide." Netizens left messages of support, encouraging her to let go of her pain and take care of herself, believing that her daughter would be silently guarded. News highlights today, 16th, the whole Taiwan is sunny and hot, the high temperature in the south is 36 degrees Celsius, and there is a local brief rain in the east and mountainous areas in the afternoon. Meteorological expert Wu Durong predicts that from tomorrow to next week, it will enter a 4-day cycle pattern, with 2 days of heavy rain and 2 days of high temperature. It will reach 37 degrees Celsius from Monday to Wednesday next week, and sun protection and heat stroke prevention are required. The latest model shows signs of tropical disturbance in the South China Sea, but its changes need to be continuously observed. News highlights a tragic murder occurred in Rena District, Keelung. A man surnamed Jian suspected that his wife was dissatisfied with his divorce, and on the evening of the 14th, he lost control of his emotions after drinking and smothered his 5-year-old son to death with a pillow. Afterwards, Jian Nan was arrested for leaving home and confessing to the crime. Because of the murder and violation of the children's law, and the suspicion of fleeing, the court ruled late last night to take him into custody. It is reported that the husband and wife had separated due to domestic violence, and most of the boys lived with their mothers. News highlights South Korean girl group Lightsum recently performed at the Youth Volunteer Festival held in Hangang Park in Seoul, and its member Xiaoying performed eye-catchingly, and the performance video was widely circulated on PTT in Taiwan, Reddit in the United States, Bilibili in China and other social platforms at home and abroad, attracting attention. Many netizens said that they met the group for the first time through this stage, and were deeply impressed by the members' live performance, and said that they would continue to pay attention to Lightsum's follow-up works and activities. News highlights the veteran oil factory Fumao Oil, 1225, has not reported financial results for 2 consecutive quarters and is currently suspended from trading. According to the regulations, if the documents are not supplemented within 6 months, they will be delisted on November 18 this year at the earliest. However, as long as the financial report is submitted before the announcement deadline, the risk of going out of the market can still be avoided. The stock exchange said that except for Fumao, the rest of the listed companies have completed the declaration, and reminded investors to check the latest financial information before trading to grasp the company's operating status. News highlights on May 15, there was significant smog in southern Taiwan, and former meteorological director Cheng Mingdian pointed out that this was due to photochemical air pollution caused by ozone, not direct emissions. This type of pollution produces very fine particles that are not easily captured by PM 2.5 monitoring but can affect visibility. The meteorological department predicts that the ozone concentration may rise in the afternoon of the 16th, with a high temperature of 36 degrees in the central and southern regions, and there is also a chance of showers in some areas. News highlights the general manager recently denied the shutdown, saying that employees went to work as usual and supplied normally, but in fact, 168 employees were dismissed and did not receive salaries and severance pay in April and May, causing dissatisfaction. Employees accused the company of not being transparent and firing without warning. The new Taipei Labor Bureau confirmed that it had received a notice to assist in labor mediation, and if it failed, it would be deemed to be closed and the employee would apply for wage advances. The Channel Party is also considering whether to terminate the procurement, and Canada and the United States may face the fate of a complete shutdown. News highlights a Taiwanese woman traveled to the Rusutsu Resort Hotel in Hokkaido, and actually took a number of photos in the women's soup and uploaded them to social platforms, and some of the pictures even photographed others naked, which aroused strong criticism from Japanese and Taiwanese netizens. After the incident was exposed, someone doxed that the woman was the daughter of Taiwanese bamboo carving master Chen Chunming. In this regard, she came forward to apologize, saying that she did not pay attention to the prohibition of photography signs due to diesel, and emphasized that it was not malicious shooting. At present, the hotel has not announced further disposal, and netizens have called for respect for the privacy of other countries' cultures and public spaces. News highlights a passenger accident occurred at Darwin Airport in the early morning of the 16th. A Kuoguang passenger transport carrying 30 passengers had just departed from the first terminal, that is, it crashed into the wall of the lane for unknown reasons, resulting in 31 injuries, of which 22 were foreign passengers from South Korea, Japan, Myanmar, France, and Malaysia. Most of the injured suffered minor injuries and were sent to 5 hospitals for treatment. Darwin Airport has activated an emergency response and demanded that Kuoguang passenger transport be responsible for condolences and compensation, and the cause is pending further investigation by the police. News highlights physician Ye Bingwei reminded that if the hiccup is more than 48 hours is persistent hiccups, and more than 1 month is called intractable hiccups, you should seek medical attention as soon as possible. Hiccups are mostly related to gastritis, gastroesophageal reflux, alcohol consumption, or carbonated drinks, but if it does not improve for a long time, it may be related to 6 cancers such as gastric cancer, pancreatic cancer, liver cancer, or central nervous system diseases and metabolic abnormalities. It is recommended to perform 5 major items, such as gastroscopy and tumor examination, to rule out potential health risks. News highlights today is the 8th anniversary of brother Zhu's death, and her daughter Xie Jinyan posted a photo of her father and daughter on social platforms and hand-copied the Heart Sutra to mourn her father, rarely expressing her longing, which moved fans. The photo is a precious group photo left by brother Zhu Liang before his further study, showing the intimacy of father and daughter. The two have not seen each other for many years due to misunderstandings, and now Xie Jinyan is relieved with her actions, remembering the happy time that her father brought to the audience during his lifetime. News highlights the 2024 Cannes International Film Festival presents No Nudity, which explicitly prohibits nudity and overly ostentatious clothing. Chinese actress Zhao Yingzi appeared on the red carpet in a penetrating dress on the 14th, and the costume design caused controversy. Zhao Yingzi later clarified that she was not expelled, saying that the red dress she was supposed to wear was stained by coffee, so she temporarily changed to wear the outfit. The incident has drawn attention to the balance between the implementation of the Cannes Film Festival's new regulations and the management of artists' images. News highlights Taiwan's entertainment industry's flash soldier case has been burned, and after Wang Dalu, many artists such as Chen Daishan and Chen Lingju have been involved. The artist who used to be the cream brother of the children's station also blew himself up, and was offered 2 million yuan to help avoid military service, and admitted that he was once moved, and finally chose to join the Marine Corps to serve in accordance with the law. He said that the deserter group would make a price based on the popularity of the artist, and lamented that modern young people generally reject being a soldier. News highlights the artist flash soldier case continued to burn, and 9 people, including Chen Lingju and Chen Daishan, were recently interviewed by the prosecutor and handed over bail, which aroused social concern. Internet celebrity Xiao A took the initiative to share his service experience and was not involved in the case. She revealed that she enlisted as a man in 2011 and insisted on fulfilling her military service despite her mother's fear of being bullied. During his service, he was cared for by his comrades, and became popular in the army for a photo of a woman who mistook him for his girlfriend, which became an interesting memory. News highlights Taiwan Action's latest recall film, Do Your Homework, sparked a heated debate in which a boy questioned his father's indifference to the country. Internet celebrity curator Chen Saihan imitated this plot and filmed a gym promotional video, in which he played the role of a boy, and new Taipei City Councillor Chen Minji made a cameo appearance as his father. The curator asked, "Do you have a membership? Become the highlight of the film, humorously respond to the original content." Netizens laughed and said, "Asking you to imitate is not asking you to surpass," and they praised the curator's creative interpretation, which sparked heated discussions. News highlights Canadian singer Justin Bieber Jr. Justin Bieber was recently rumored to be facing bankruptcy, and he reportedly owed more than $1 million to his former manager, and accumulated about $24 million in debt due to the cancellation of his tour in 2022, and even sold music rights to raise funds. However, Justin Jr.'s agency team quickly denied these rumors, emphasizing that the financial situation is sound, and accusing the rumor-mongers of not understanding the reality of the entertainment industry, with the intention of discrediting them. Justin Jr. was promoted to father last year, and his family life has attracted much attention. News highlights to Su Ziwan's ex-husband Wang Xiaofei will hold a wedding with her new love Mandy tomorrow, 17th, which triggered a strong emotional reaction from her ex-mother-in-law Wang Chunmi's mother. SS mother posted a sentimental post on Mother's Day, expressing her grief over the death of her daughter Da and the difficulty of getting out of the sadness, and expressed her only hope for Wang Xiaofei's remarriage is to take good care of her grandson. At the same time, she sadly mentioned her grandson's situation of losing his mother, and her mood was low, which attracted attention from the outside world. News highlights after the divorce of the 8 o'clock actress Wang Xian in mid-February this year, she was in a car accident on the way to the crew on a motorcycle in mid-April, resulting in a number of serious injuries, including rupture of the medial collateral ligament and anterior cruciate ligament, ruptured meniscus, and intraosseous inflammation. After surgical treatment, Huang Wei began rehabilitation in early May and has recently been discharged from the hospital and returned home to recuperate. The agent said that the recovery status is stable, and the team will assess the resumption time based on the recovery situation. News highlights the case of artist Wang Delo flashed out, and the prosecutor and police searched and interviewed Chen Lingzhu, Chen Daishan, William, Dagan, Ahu, Li Chuan and other 9 artists on the 14th, all of whom were bailed for 15 to 500,000 yuan. Xiao Lai, a member of Chen Lingzhu's group 5 Strongholds, severely criticized the desertion in the video 1 month ago, saying, "We are all soldiers, give me a try for those deserters." The clip was recently dug up by netizens, which formed a strong contrast with the case of Chen Lingzhu's suspected falsification of medical records and desertion, which aroused heated discussions among netizens. Most of the other members have completed their military service, and only Lu Junshuo has been exempted from military service for health reasons. News highlights Wang Xiaofei and Ma Xiaomei, Mandy, registered their marriage last year, and the wedding banquet was originally scheduled to be held in Beijing on May 16, 2024, but on the eve of the wedding, Ma Xiaomei was accused by her ex-husband of calling the bed to make noise with neighbors, and suspected of leaking private photos, which caused heated discussions. Mother-in-law Zhang Lan publicly expressed her distress and support for her daughter-in-law on Weibo yesterday, 15th, saying that Ma Xiaomei was repeatedly involved in storms because of her love for Wang Xiaofei, which made her very distressed. Zhang Lan also lamented that she and her son have experienced ups and downs in recent years, and hopes to block the harm for her son. News highlights Shohei Ohtani hit the Athletics yesterday for his 13th hit of the season, making him the 15th first-inning home run of his career. With an initial velocity of 108.2 miles and 430 feet, the Dodgers held the record for winning all of Ohtani's first hits. This month, it has hit 6 hits, tying his personal record for the most in May, and is currently ranked 3rd in the league with 13 hits. After switching to the Dodgers, the team had a 9-0 record in the first game, showing a key influence. News highlights despite the bullish yen in the investment market, Japan's wealthy class remains concerned about the economic outlook, fearing that the yen could fall to 180 or even 200 per dollar. Experts point out that inflation and underinvestment keep high net worth individuals conservative. Trump's trade policy has created uncertainty and heightened market volatility. The yen has recently fallen below the 150 mark, and if it falls to 200, it will return to the pre-1980s Plaza Accord level, raising doubts about a repeat of history. News highlights Justin Jr. and his wife Haley welcomed their son Jack Bruce after marriage, but after being promoted to become a father, there were frequent negative news. Suspected of drug abuse, nightclub carnival, and recently broke out of a financial crisis, owing more than 700 million Taiwan dollars in debt, and even rumored to be bankrupt. In this regard, Justin Jr.'s team refuted the rumors as untrue, emphasizing that the financial situation is stable, and the whistleblowers are all former collaborators who do not know the truth. News highlights. First Gold announced that the Yulan branch of First Bank was searched by the Criminal Bureau in Taipei City Criminal University for investigation because its employees were suspected of assisting a fraud group to open a head account. The company said that it fully cooperated with the investigation and that the incident had no financial and business impact. News highlights. Rodriguez, a woman in Brazil, decided to divorce her husband after discovering that her husband was cheating, but died suddenly at home 2 weeks later. An autopsy revealed that she had lead poison in her body, and the police investigation found that her mother-in-law had inquired about the purchase of the highly toxic insecticide Chumbano and had prepared separate meals for her on several occasions. Before her death, the deceased had said that her mother-in-law often felt unwell after her visit. The husband and mother-in-law have been charged with conspiracy to commit poison and murder, and their mobile phones and electronic devices have been seized, but the police are still trying to clarify the motive and the source of the poison. News highlights. A netizen turned on the end gear to blow the air conditioner when driving a gasoline tram and waiting for someone, but was reminded by his father that this move might damage the battery, which caused heated discussions. Many netizens pointed out that the engine and kinetic energy recovery system of the gasoline and tram do not operate when they play end gear, which cannot charge the large battery, which may affect the battery life for a long time, and the air conditioner will gradually fail. It is recommended to play P gear and pull the handbrake when stopping to avoid excessive power consumption. Experts also remind that the end gear is mainly used for trailers or emergencies, and should not be used for daily parking. News highlights. Guanying recently started a live broadcast drunk late at night, wearing glasses without makeup, and angrily scolding her husband Zhu Highway, who is far away in Shenzhen, while eating super spicy instant noodles, laughing that the other party would marry her because she had a heavy taste, because I thought I was very spicy. She hiccups while drawing funny quotes. Too hot man with her feet, laughing at herself and regressing from spicy eating. During the live broadcast, the emotions were changeable, from complaining about her husband and instant noodles being too spicy, to regretting drinking and eating supper, and determined to quit drinking tomorrow, and finally ended hastily with the sentence "I'll lie down." Netizens laughed and shouted that it was super cute. News highlights. Every year, when filling in the application form, the choice of department becomes an important topic for students. Recently, a netizen shared the 3 most difficult departments in his hard-on card, including thermodynamics in the Department of Mechanics, complex professional terms in the Department of Medicine, and intermediate accounting entries in the Department of Accounting, which sparked heated discussions. Most of them consider math to be the most difficult, described as an alien language because real math involves almost no numbers. In contrast, the courses of business management, marketing, tourism, and social studies are considered to be easier to learn because of their more practical and life-oriented courses, which are suitable for students in the liberal arts group. News highlights. Lin Yuzhong, a newcomer to Golden Songs who has disappeared from the Taiwanese music scene for 12 years, made a surprise appearance at Lin Junja's concert a few days ago, and the two sang Docking and Grab the Rose together, and the atmosphere was warm. When Lin Yuzhong took the stage, he suddenly knelt down to Lin Junja and choked up and shouted "I'm sorry for you," which made the other party stunned. He used humor to defuse the tension afterwards, laughing and saying, "As soon as I got on stage, the rain stopped, and I came to save the scene." This performance means a lot to him, and he also took the opportunity to celebrate the 20th anniversary of his debut and promote the new song Cry and Laugh, hoping to return to the stage with a new look. News highlights. Shinkong Life Insurance, a subsidiary of Shinkong Financial Holdings, announced on the 14th that the board of directors decided to dispose of assets and authorize the chairman to sign a memorandum, which is suspected to be related to the transfer of the Nvidia contract, but Shin Life did not comment. The Taipei city government has not yet confirmed the settlement of the Huida Taiwan headquarters in Baishike, and Mayor Zhang Wanan said that he will make every effort to fight for it. The above ground rights of T17 and T18 are held by Xinxiao, with a total area of 5 hectares, which meets the needs of Nvidia. If the Taipei city government agrees to terminate the contract with Xinxiao, it will waive the liquidated damages of Xinxiao and achieve a win-win situation for Nvidia, Taipei city government and Xinxiao. Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang is expected to announce the relevant news at a press conference on the 21st. News highlights. Hong Kong singer Eason Chan was diagnosed with new crown pneumonia and cancelled his concert at Kaohsiung Arena today, 16th, and needs to recuperate immediately. Physician Wu Hixing reminded that the summer will usher in the peak of the new crown epidemic, and the United States and South Korea have warned that the virus continues to mutate and become more infectious, and severe cases mostly occur in people who are not fully vaccinated. With the increase in outdoor activities, the risk of group gathering has increased, and the public is urged to strengthen vaccination and pay attention to the protection of Streptococcus pneumoniae to reduce the risk of moderate to severe disease and complications. News highlights. The 2025 World Games will open at the Taipei Arena on the 17th, and for the first time, spectators will be allowed to bring flags with the words Taiwan or Taiwan to enter the stadium without restrictions. Taipei Mayor Chang Wanan said that this regulation applies to competition venues and rest areas, but according to international norms, the national flag of the Republic of China is not allowed to be displayed in the stadium and players' rest areas. The Executive Committee announced 4 major admission regulations, including the size of the flag, the uniform distribution of flags in the parade, the award of awards without carrying flags, and the freedom of clothing for contestants, emphasizing the prohibition of sensitive content such as politics and racial discrimination to ensure the smooth progress of the event. News highlights. Recently, there was a suspected Chinese Douyin live broadcaster in Taipei's Minsheng community who secretly photographed elementary school students, causing panic among parents. The live broadcaster hid and took pictures of the child's face, but was stopped by the parents and still responded arrogantly until the threat was called to the police. After receiving the report, DPP lawmaker Su Shihua quickly reported the case to the police and called on the city government to access surveillance cameras to investigate the act. A search for Taiwanese primary school students on Douyin saw a large number of videos, and some netizens questioned that the CCP may violate the children's law and endanger the safety of children by using it to monitor Taiwanese children. Su Shihua stressed the need to strengthen campus security patrols to protect the rights and interests of students and avoid the recurrence of similar incidents. News highlights. The 2025 World Games will open tomorrow at the Taipei Arena, and the Executive Committee announced today, 16th, that NVIDIA founder Jensen Huang will serve as the representative of the flame in the field of science and technology. Taipei Mayor Chang Wanan praised Jensen Huang as a global leader in technology and AI, and he deserves this role. In the face of rumors that NVIDIA's Taiwan headquarters is expected to settle in Biseheco, Zhang Wanan responded with, "The fish are still swimming outside, and there is no hurry to collect the net," and hoped that Huida would feel that Taipei City was a reliable partner, hinting that the cooperation was still being actively promoted. News highlights. Former President Tsai Ing-wen recently visited Europe on behalf of Taiwan, giving speeches in fluent English and meeting with parliamentarians from various parties on several occasions to show a professional image. Because she was wearing an Italian windbreaker with a price of 90,000 yuan, she was questioned by some people for showing off her wealth and not knowing the suffering of the people. Lawyer Lin Heekan fought back, emphasizing that Tsai Ing-wen has sufficient financial resources and can wear a trench coat for many years, accusing critics of double standards, and questioning in a humorous tone, "Do you have to be like a bae wearing a suit and pants and sneakers to be close to the people?" He also praised Tsai Ing-wen's elegant taste, and believed that a trip to represent Taiwan should show a capable and unassuming image, which aroused enthusiastic support and resonance from netizens. News highlights. In an exclusive interview with Nikkei Asia last year, Kuomintang legislator Wang Xiaoling said that "We are Chinese," advocated that peaceful reunification of the two sides of the strait is the ultimate goal, and questioned the identity of mainland democracy and Taiwan's young people, believing that they were brainwashed too deeply. In addition, she suggested that Taiwan should not raise its defense budget, causing controversy. Akio Yaita, a veteran Japanese media person, bitterly criticized Wang's remarks as inconsistent with international consensus and may lead to international misunderstanding of Taiwan, stressing that this remark is very unfavorable to Taiwan's image and may weaken international support and security guarantees, causing heated discussions from all walks of life. News highlights. In the entertainment industry, many artists have deserted suspicions, which has attracted attention. A netizen shared his experience in the army's diet in exploding waste commune, naming the dish ground corn to be eaten about 5 times a week, although it is not unpalatable, but the frequent occurrence makes people collapse in fear. The post sparked an enthusiastic response, with many netizens resonating with the classic hellside dish, some laughing at it and saying that they don't like it better than pigs, and discussing the ups and downs of other military dishes. This topic evokes many people's memories and complaints about life as a soldier. News highlights. Well-known basketball brothers Jeremy Lin and Lin Shui were recently spotted pedaling an electric scooter near Songshan Station, ignoring a red light and counting down seconds to cross the road. The video shows the two people crossing the zebra crossing, looking for oncoming cars and venturing through, to the surprise of passers-by who crossed the zebra crossing at the same time. At that time, there was still incoming traffic in the crossing, and the behavior was considered quite dangerous. Lin Shui later shared the gym check-in on social media, which was suspected to be related to the fitness itinerary of the day. This incident has aroused public concern about traffic safety. News highlights. Former U.S. President Donald Trump recently gave a speech at the U.S. military Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, revealing that he had secretly flown to Iraq in the early days of his presidency and personally authorized the operation to allow the U.S. military to wipe out the remnants of ISIS within 3 weeks, which would have taken 5 years to complete. Trump described the trip as a thrilling ride with lights out, and vividly described the situation in multiple roles. He criticized Washington's top military brass for being super reckless and praised Raisin Kane, the general who led the operation, who was later promoted to chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. The raid demonstrated its decisiveness and military achievements. News highlights. A policeman surnamed Wu from the Fraud Crime Prevention Center of the Criminal Bureau, who was responsible for the analysis of the cash flow, was defrauded of 10.95 million yuan by a fraud group pretending to be the CEO of NVIDIA, including borrowing money from his daughter. After the incident, Wu reported the case, and the Criminal Bureau investigated and arrested 18 members involved in the case. The Criminal Bureau emphasized that Wu Yuan was not an official staff of the center, only supported general administrative work, and had returned to his original unit in June last year. Wu Yuan was transferred due to the damage to the image of the incident, and the case is still under investigation in accordance with the law. News highlights: King Jae-jo once shared a video of Kunling's 90-year-old grandfather winning the championship. This veteran with amazing physical fitness comes to Taiwan every year to participate in the international track and field competitions, and has registered for the 2025 Shuangbei World Prime Age Games, where he will challenge the javelin, 100m, 200m, discus throw and shot put. The Kunling family has a deep sports foundation, and his grandfather was an Australian high school shot put champion. Recently, he appeared at the airport on crutches, in good spirits, looking forward to making new friends in this competition and showing extraordinary vitality and enthusiasm. News highlights: NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang is expected to arrive in Taiwan on the 16th and deliver a keynote speech at the Taipei International Computer Show on the morning of the 19th, providing free online live broadcast. Tomorrow, there will be a banquet for Taiwan's supply chain elders in the Brick Kill restaurant, and the scene will be grand. A press conference will be held on the 21st, in addition to discussing the development of the company and industry. The location of NVIDIA's Taiwan headquarters, which is of concern to the outside world, may be announced at that time. This trip has attracted much attention and affected the trend of the technology industry. News highlights: Global Wafers, 6488, held the opening ceremony of Global Wafers America, GWA, a state-of-the-art 12-inch silicon wafer fab in Sherman, Texas, with a total investment of $3.5 billion. At the scene, Aide Director Lei Meng, Taiwan's Minister of Economic Affairs Guo Zhihui, representative to the United States Yu Dao and other political and business dignitaries gathered to witness the important milestone. More than 1,200 construction jobs and 180 permanent vacancies will be created at the plant, and an additional 650 skilled workers are expected to be added by the end of 2028. Su Ziolan, chairman of the board, said that she will expand the scale of manufacturing in the United States to respond to market demand and policy support. News highlights: a seriously ill elderly woman in Juzhou, Hunan Province, China, needed emergency treatment, and her family members went to the Agricultural Bank of China with her documents to withdraw about 50,000 yuan of life-saving money, but the bank asked them to be present in person. The family then pushed the woman into a wheelchair to go to the bank, but was delayed for more than 2 hours and could not receive the money, and the woman unfortunately died outside the bank. The bank confirmed the incident and cooperated with the police investigation, and the police intervened, while the family criticized the bank for its indifference. Netizens pointed out that the family did not inform the bank of the woman's true situation, which also sparked a discussion about the flexibility of the bank's regulations. News highlights: Big Short selling: Barry's Scion Asset Management emptied almost all listed stocks in the first quarter of this year, and aggressively shorted NVIDIA and Chinese technology stocks, including JD.com, Alibaba, and Pinduoduo put rights. On the other hand, Soros Fund and Third Point have increased their holdings in NVIDIA, and Soros is more weighted in Amazon, FedEx, and Solar stocks. Barry continued to reduce Chinese technology stocks, only adding Estée Lauder. Third Point liquidated Tesla and Meta and reduced its stake in Amazon. Overall, it reflects the divergent views of institutions on technology stocks, with Barry being conservative and Soros and Third Point taking a positive attitude. News highlights: Gogolook, 6902, moved from the Innovation Board to the General Board, becoming the first pure AI software company in Taiwan to reach this milestone. The consolidated revenue in the first quarter reached 239 million yuan, an increase of 14.4% year-on-year, and the operating net profit exceeded 10 million yuan, successfully turning losses into profits, with EPS of 0.26 yuan. Despite the bright operation, the stock price gapped, and the market reacted coldly on the first day of listing. The company's core business covers consumer fraud prevention, enterprise fraud prevention and financial technology, and actively expands new products in overseas markets, and is committed to diversifying revenue and global layout, laying a solid foundation for future growth. News highlights: the grassroots units of the Kuomintang Army are under heavy pressure in the face of military threats from the mainland every day, but when a well-known palace and temple in the south was preparing for a large-scale festival, it asked the 564th Armored Brigade of the 8th Army Corps of the Army to send officers and men to act as the temple fair, and even stipulated that they should not wear the emblem of the Taiwan Army, which triggered a strong backlash among the officers and men. The 564 Brigade has suspended the investigation and has not officially dispatched troops, and the Army Command said that it has politely rejected the request for support from the palace, stressing that the dispatch of troops must be carefully assessed and must not affect combat readiness and the rights and interests of officers and soldiers. This incident highlights the dilemma and helplessness of the grassroots troops in the heavy task of national defense and the demands of local forces. News highlights: recently, Taiwanese scam syndicates used Line to impersonate neighbors and send SMS scams on the grounds of noise complaints. At the beginning of the message, he claimed to be an upstairs or downstairs resident, accusing the victim of making noise, and if he responded, the other party first saluted and then demanded $30,000 in compensation, and even threatened and intimidated. Many people shared their experiences in the community, and some people saw the scam because they lived in a single-family house or on the top floor. Experts called on the public not to respond and block directly to avoid being pegged or further promoting scams, reminding that the awareness of prevention should not be relaxed. News highlights: as the weather gets hotter, many people turn on the air conditioner only to find that there is a sour smell, and even if the filter is cleaned, there is still no improvement. Japanese netizens shared that they called the air conditioning customer service, suggesting that the air conditioner be adjusted to 16 degrees and blown for 1 hour and open the window for ventilation. Japan's Mitsubishi Electric has also confirmed that this method is effective, because low-temperature operation can dissolve and discharge odor components in the heat exchanger and drain pan, and ventilation can dispel odors. However, experts caution not to use 16 degrees of air conditioning for a long time to avoid soaring electricity bills. It is recommended to set 26 to 28 degrees Celsius with an electric fan, and clean the filter every 2 to 3 weeks to keep the cold room efficient and fresh air. News highlights: many artists in the South Korean entertainment industry were involved in military service evasion scandals, including MC Dream, who pulled out 12 teeth in an attempt to be exempted from military service. Although he was not convicted of desertion, he was sentenced to probation and banned. Ravi falsified epilepsy medical records to apply for supplementary service, and his career was suspended. Don Mills was forgiven for deliberately gaining weight and deserting and then switching to service. Lee Jin-jun renounced his Korean nationality and was permanently blocked and banned from entering the country. Jong Hee and Song Cheng-hsien were involved in buying fake medical records to be exempted from military service, and later chose to serve to save their image. Song Dihao was prosecuted for falsely claiming epilepsy. These cases expose the serious problems and consequences of military service evasion in the Korean entertainment industry. News highlights: the leader Zhang Jun said that although he believes that Chen Naiyu is incompetent, in order to avoid continuing to tear apart the Indian society and deepening the confrontation, he decided to temporarily put down the recall, and looks forward to bringing changes through votes in the future. Zhang Jun thanked the supporters for their courage and stressed that this decision was not to give up, but to think about his hometown. Chen Naiyu responded to respecting democracy, insisting on responding to doubts with political achievements, and thanked supporters for their trust, emphasizing that voting for her is a valuable choice. News highlights: the CDC expects the new crown epidemic to peak in June, and petty bourgeois doctors revealed that about 3 to 4% of patients in the clinic have been diagnosed with the new crown, in addition to common fever, sore throat, body aches, stomach pain, nausea, vomiting and other gastrointestinal symptoms. The supply of rapid screening reagents is tight, the rapid screening in clinics is running out, and pharmacies are also out of stock. The Food and Drug Administration responded that it had contacted the 4 major supermarkets and chain pharmacies to assist in the distribution of goods, emphasizing that the supply of rapid screening in Taiwan is sufficient, suggesting that the public should go to large pharmacies to buy them, and calling for continued epidemic prevention measures. News highlights: numerology Gao Fujin has made accurate predictions many times, and recently warned again, asserting that Taipei Mayor Kei Wen's life is in danger, and his detention may last until 2027. Gao Fujin pointed out that Kei Wen's was detained and banned from seeing him in connection with the Jing Huachin case and the political donation case, and he also had health problems such as left hydronephrosis and ureteral stones, and had undergone surgery. The numerologist calculated through the I Ching hexagram that Kei Wen's release from prison was far away, and his health was worrying, and he was afraid that he would be liberated inside. In addition, he has reservations about the blue-green recall, believing that the impact will be limited, reflecting his pessimistic predictions about the political situation. News highlights: Wu Mingda, chairman of the Weijin Group, who was sentenced to life imprisonment for sniping the leader of the Northern Union Gang, was involved in organized crime and intimidation to obtain money after being released from prison on parole, and was fully armed and detained by the Security Special Service Team of the Criminal Bureau under the command of the new Taipei District Prosecutor. Wu Mingda was arrested at the Tom Sui hideout, immediately transferred to the Criminal Bureau for interrogation, and then returned to the new Taipei District Prosecutor's office under strict security and returned to prison to serve his sentence. Prosecutors said that the case of related organized crime is still under investigation. News highlights: Japanese actress Maria Nishiyuki announced her retirement from the showbiz on the 15th, shocking fans. In her statement, she said that the contract with the broker will end at the end of this month, and that her family was in trouble at the beginning of the year, and although she was not directly involved, she decided to suspend the activity. Maria Nishiyuki is a model turned, and there have been many controversies in the past, including the sluggish ratings of the starring Japanese drama and the suspected assault on the president of a former agency in 2017, which sparked widespread discussion. The news of this retirement has made the outside world pay attention to its future trends. News highlights: Wang Xiaofei, the ex-husband of the late actress Da.S., Su Ziwan, will hold a make-up wedding banquet with Ma Xiaomei tomorrow, which has attracted attention. Big SS mother Huang Chunmei, SS mother, posted an article without warning in the early morning of the 16th, expressing the pain of losing her beloved daughter, and mentioning Wang Xiaofei's remarriage, expressing her sadness that she hoped that they could take good care of their grandson after marriage, and questioned the contradiction between the law and reality. After the post was exposed, many netizens left messages to encourage SS Mother, hoping that she would get out of the haze as soon as possible and welcome a new life. News highlights affected by the mutual reduction of tariffs between the United States and China and Norway's suspension of production in the Barents Sea of the Arctic Sea. International oil prices have risen, and Taiwan's oil prices will also be adjusted. It is estimated that gasoline will rise by 0.2 to 0.4 yuan per liter next week, and diesel will rise by 0.6 to 0.7 yuan. Based on the 7-day moving average Brent and Dubai crude oil prices of $65.07 on May 15, it rose by $2.81 from last week, and the new Taiwan dollar depreciated slightly against the US dollar. Due to the possible activation of the stabilization mechanism, the actual amplitude adjustment will be announced by Taiwan's Ministry of Petroleum and Economic Affairs at 12 noon on May 19 for the public's reference.